This meeting is being recorded.
Hey Bereans, we are doing the trivia on the word nations, and this is the 5 minute chat that we have. Let's see what we have here. It is Abraham who is taken from the Ur to be a great nation, and obviously, God had promised that if you look down at the breakdown of the ancient Hebrew, two nations means Ligoi. And so we see in Genesis 12, verse 2, and I shall make you for a great nation, and I shall bless you and make your name great, and so you shall be a blessing. Now, he is here in this pagan city, and with all that is going on in the Ur, God had chosen him because he is the righteous line. And together with a small entourage, they trusted God to make Abraham, Abram as he called then, to leave to be this great nation that he had promised this person, Abram. Now, a next account we see is with Ishmael. Now, it's very interesting with Ishmael because God assures Abraham of Ishmael too. Now, remember, Ishmael comes from Abraham's loins. So, this is the account that we see in 17:20. As for Ishmael, I have heard you. Behold, I shall bless him, and shall make him fruitful, and shall multiply him exceedingly. He shall father 12 princes, and I shall make him for a great nation. So it's very interesting that God is not a respecter of person. As long as he has blessed Abraham, whoever comes from his loins will be blessed. And so we see this account of Hagar's son being blessed. Now, as they got closer in their relationship over the time, now Jesus, as he appears with the two messengers and communes with Abraham, and he is leaving now, he's thinking to himself, shouldn't I tell Abraham everything? So he now consults with Abraham about the situation in Sodom because he knows his nephew Lot is there. And since Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and in him all nations of the world shall be blessed, is why Jesus wanted to consult with Abraham. And that's when Abraham went into interceding. So let's look at the verse before that, before Genesis 18:18. We have Genesis 18:17. And Adonai had said, shall I cover up from Abraham what I am doing? And then 18:18 says, and Abraham will surely exist as a great and numerous nation, and all the nations of the land shall be exalted because with him. So after completing that season, we move on to the season where Sarah wanted her son Isaac to be the sole heir and wanted to get rid of Hagar and Ishmael. Although it grieved Abraham in his heart, God told him to obey Sarah's voice, and he did. But as she wandered out, Hagar wandered out into the wilderness, God assured Hagar. So the son of the bondwoman will also be a nation. So this assurance goes to Hagar directly, and she is hearing from God. And of the son of this maid I shall make into a nation also, because he is your descendant, referring this discussion to Abraham initially. But to the maid in verse 18 we hear, rise, lift up this young man, and make your hand seize with him, given that I will set him in a place for a great nation. So you see both Abraham and Hagar. In verse 13, Abraham, in verse 18, Hagar got the assurance that this son would be also a great nation. The son referred to as Ishmael. Now, towards the end of Israel, Jacob's life, Israel too was promised. And as he was promised that he will be made a great nation, he also leaves for Egypt because there is a famine in the land. So he had to hear from God, and God spoke to him in chapter 46, verse 3. And he said, I am the mighty one, the Elohim of your father. You will not fear to go down unto Mizraim, which is Egypt, given that I will set you in place there for a great nation. Now, there were only 70 people going now, but when they left Egypt, they were such a huge nation with 600,000 men and their families leaving, with all of the Egyptians' valuables and possessions, because their firstborn has just died. So they did really become a great nation by the time they left. So this is a very interesting account of all these terms called nations that we looked at. So thank you for listening on.